ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So people think that the science and spirituality goes in two different ways. No, it's not like that. The fact is, the last step of the scientific research and advancement is the realization of the supreme entity, that is God. Whereas the spirituality or religion begins with the acceptance of the existence of the supreme entity. Indeed, every one of us put faith in the existence of the God. But externally, some may pose that they are atheist or they are non-believer of God. We see generally they put arguments like, if I cannot see God, then how can I believe? What is the proof of existence of God? Or can you show me God? So like this kind of arguments we can see from the so-called atheist. One of the quality of God is achintya. Achintya means it is inconceivable. Inconceivable in the sense, by our perceptions, by our analysis, or by our logics, we cannot understand God. We cannot understand the God in complete, but at least by logic and observation of the world and nature, we can come to the conclusion that the existence of God is a fact. There is a nyaya called Kupa Manduka Nyaya. Kupa means the well, Manduka means the frog. So this nyaya means the logic of the frog in a well. So there is a small story. The story goes like this. So once there were two friends, two frogs who were friends from long time, but one of the frog was staying in the well, and the other frog moved out of the well, and it eventually had opportunity to witness the ocean. And after some time it came back to the well to meet this old friend, the frog. So when he met the frog, it was mentioning that I have seen a very vast water body, that is ocean. But the frog in the well was not able to conceive it. It was not able to imagine. It was asking whether the ocean is this big, or is this twice as large as this well. Then the other frog mentioned, no, this cannot be compared to this well. Then the frog in the well again asked, no, it may be 10 times than this well. But the frog from the ocean again replied, no, this is not the true comparison, that is very big. But then the frog in the well was laughing, and I have not seen such a huge ocean, so I don't accept it, I don't believe it. So then this frog from the ocean thought, so this frog in the well always remained in the well, it never came out of the well. That's why it cannot even think of such a big water body, that is an ocean. Ocean exists. The vastness of the ocean, it cannot even imagine. So the lesson from this small story or the nyaya is the limited intelligence of so-called atheist. They cannot comprehend the existence of the God, the existence of the supreme entity, supreme controller, supreme creator of this whole universe, by whose energies the whole universe is being created, being maintained, and being destroyed at a certain point of time. So this is a Kupa Manduka Nyaya. So by our limited perceptions of our life and the world and our experience, we cannot understand the existence of God. Like the frog was telling, I did not see any till now any such a big vast ocean, so I don't believe. Similarly, these atheists may tell that I don't see God, that's why I don't believe the God. So now let's approach the understanding of existence of God by logic and observation. Let's observe the world we are living in and the nature around us. When we see any object or any equipment or anything, we immediately have a question in our mind. So, which brand? Which brand in the sense, which is the manufacturing company? So this means that anything we see has creator behind it. So the creation implies the creator, because we cannot believe that it has come by itself or it is existing by chance. So if even a small things like if we see a pen or we see a bottle or we see a watch, wristwatch, or we see mobile phones, so whatever we see around us, if these things haven't come by itself, it has been manufactured by somebody, so there is a creator behind the creation. So then why not the bigger things, the nature, the whole planet, the universe has come by itself? So there is another nyaya in Shastra, that is Kaimuttika nyaya. Kaimuttika nyaya means Kim Uta nyaya. Kim Uta means for this is like a proportion, proportion. It's like 1:2, then 50:, what? 50:100, isn't it? There's a ratio proportion. So like for small things which we see around, that's like synthetic things, has been created by man has manufactured those things, then how can you believe that the bigger things or the bigger nature around us has not been created by anybody, it has come by itself? So this logic, by this logic we can understand that there is the existence of God. Similarly, when we see any designs, any new models, so we immediately get a question, so who is the designer behind this? Design of the cars or the design of the processor, all these things. When we see any design, we immediately get a question, who is the designer? Similarly, we see the very delicate and beautiful designs in this nature. If we observe, the human body itself is a wonderful design. The way our eyes, our organs and all the parts are being designed so that it gives proper function and it is coordinating with the other organs. So this is a intelligent design. So intelligent design implies that there is a intelligent designer. So that designer is the supreme entity of this whole universe. If you observe the universe is set in so systematically. Like if you see the planets, they have their own specific orbit in which they revolve and their speed is fixed, and we see there is a pattern in which the constellations move, and there is a periodic change in seasons. So when we see all these things in a very orderly and in a following a certain pattern, so it shows that there is a law which is guiding the nature. For example, if in an organization or in a educational institutions, we see there is a law, like students have to come to attend the classes at a certain time, and they will be leaving from the institution at a certain time. So there is a fixed law. So this indicates that there is a lawmaker, that is a management which is making the laws. Similarly, when we see the laws at universal level and at the cosmic level, then there must be a lawmaker for all such laws. It's amazing that man has created microchips in which he can store huge amount of data. But it's still more amazing that in nature we see the God's creation is in a small seed. He has invested the potency of growing into a big tree, and the big tree in turn gives many such seeds. For example, this banyan tree. So banyan tree is a so big tree. So the banyan tree grows into such a huge size, but the potency of that growth is invested in the small seed. So this is a very intelligent design. Then one may ask questions, so who has designed this? Then there must exist a designer for this. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, when speaks about the Param Tattva, that is about his own self, in chapter 7. So chapter 7 is entitled as Knowledge about the Absolute Truth. That is Vijnana Yoga. So in that, Krishna, when mentions about the elements in the Prakriti, that is Pancha Mahabhuta and the mind intelligence, after that he mentions that he is the seed of all that is moving and non-moving objects in this world. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham. So there is a verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 10. So in this, Krishna is telling Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. Sarva bhutanam means Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, please know that I am the seed of all that is moving and all that is non-moving entities in this whole universe. I am the eternal seed. God's potency is not like what we experience in this world, the material phenomenon. No. God's potency is spiritual potency. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita further in 9th chapter that Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyaktam murtina matstani sarva bhutani najaham tesh avastita. So he's telling that Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyaktam murtina, that I am pervaded in this whole universe, in this entire universe. Maya tatam idam sarvam. Sarvam is everything. I am pervading it in each and every atom of this universe. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina. Avyakta means I am pervaded without my direct perception, like unmanifested form. I am pervaded in the entire universe in unmanifested form. And Mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastita means all the living entities, all the moving and non-moving things in this world are resting upon me, but I am not resting on them. I am not in them. The essence is that all of the objects, for their activity or for their activation, they depend on me, the spiritual potency of God. But God doesn't have to anywhere depend on the other things of this world.